Hi everyone, this is Ram from Informatica Global Customer Support Team. This is a part 9 video. So in this video, we'll talk about how to get the current owner of a file listener association using REST API. So the main agenda of this video is what is a file listener association owner and followed by a quick demo. Now, what is a file listener association owner? So this is nothing but, so when you create a file listener, after creating the file listener and when you create a file ingestion task or any task flow, so if you select the file listener as a source in a file ingestion task, so that owner is nothing but a file listener association owner. That owner will become file listener association owner. Now select the file listener as a schedule in a file ingestion task. So if you select in a file listener as a schedule in a file ingestion task, that owner will become as a association owner. Next, in a task flow, when you create a task flow and after you publish as a task flow, so when you publish the task flow, the file listener as a trigger. So that owner will also become as a file listener association owner. Now, this listener association owner, you cannot see from the GUI screen of the ISCS or B2B console. So you need to use a REST API. So how to use a REST API? I will show you in a demo. Now, if you see, I have created an FL underscore RAM underscore REST API. So if you see, this is an FL and I have assigned this FL to a task flow and I published this task flow. So without assigning this FL to a task flow, the REST API that you are going to run, that won't work. So this is an FL, this is a task flow. Now the username will be, so whatever the assigned user or whatever the user that I logged in, so that is the association owner. But if you see here, file listener association owner you cannot see because this is the one that we created, and the task flow level also if you see, so whatever the association owner, if you see I have assigned, but which user assigned we cannot see it from here. So in order to know that, we need to run a REST API. Let me log into the Postman. Now, Postman is a tool which helps to test the REST API call. So, in order to test this one, in order to get the file listener association owner, you need to install the Postman in your machine, and then you need to use this REST API call. Now, if you see, this is the one that your prod. So, this becomes your prod login, and this is the one MA API V2 user login. So, this is a REST API call V2. So, there will be two versions, V2 and V3. So, you can use any versions. So I'm going to use a version 2. Now you can see, so in the body, this is a post request because you are going to get the ICS session ID. So you need to log into the ICS console. So this is a username and this is a password you need to provide. I have provided a star and you need to provide your actual password here, and headers. So you can see headers, content type, application by JSON. Now when you when you send this one, you will get an ICS session ID and you will get a server URL. Now let me run this. Now you can see I got a IC session ID and server URL. Now this IC session ID, I am going to use it in the get the file listener association order. This I have already created. So if you want, you can just do one thing. You can just create a new collection here and you can add a request here. So I have already added. So let me use this one. And if you see, this is the API URL that you need to use in order to get the file listener association owner. Now this is the one. So till here, it will be like server URL. So the syntax will be from login. So if you click on login, so the server URL, this server URL till SAS. So if I go here, now you can see till you can remove that SAS. So without SAS, you just copy paste that server URL here, and you need to add this is the service request. So this is the service. So till here, and then this is the get the file listener association owner. So this is a file listener ID. So how to get the file listener ID? Let me show you. So if you see here, so this is a file listener ID. When you click on FL, so you can get this ID. So you just copy paste this ID. And you can see here IDS session ID. So this as is a version 1. I'm using a version 1. So that's why IDS session ID. So if it is a version 2, it will be ID session ID. If it is version 3, session ID. So these details I will give you the resource. You can verify there. And IDS session ID. So I'm just going to paste my session ID that I got. And you can see content type. So these are all not required. And as it is a get request, you don't need to provide any body here. Now if I just run, now you can see the executor. So the executor, you can see LXPKY, but you cannot see the owner. So this executor, the thing is like the disadvantage here is executor you will get, but with this executor, if I go to and log into the admin console, So at the administrator, if you see, so there will be lot of users. So if you click on this is the user ID, but you cannot, if there are hundreds of users, you cannot verify by clicking this user ID whether it is matching with the one that written from a REST API. So for that, in order to get the username, when you give a user ID, we have another REST API. Let me show you that. And this is the one fetching username. Now, if you want, so this is the server URL, and after that, so this is the service SaaS API V2 user, and after that, whatever the user ID that we got from the get file listener association owner. So this is the one user executor will be the owner of the file listener association, but we are not getting the name. So that's why we are using one more API request. So I copy pasted here IX whatever it got written. Now you can click on send. Now you can see sometimes it will fail with an error. So what you can do, right? If you just remove this, then it will return all the users which is present, all the users which are present in our organization. So this you can simply copy paste. Now you can see, so the assign the ID. So the corresponding, you can see the corresponding username. So it will be R only. So this is the username who is the associate or owner of the file listener. So in this way, you can verify whether the user file listener association owner, you can get the user ID and as well as the username, and you can verify whether the associated owner is enabled or disabled in the administrator page. Now the references for you, you can go through this, how to get the details of current owner, this KB article, which talks about the same steps. And also, if you want to see the REST API versions, which I talked about, 2, 3 versions, you can see this. And also how to get the list of users when you pass a user ID, that you can see this one. Now you can provide your valuable feedback at support@videosetinformatica.com. Thank you for watching this video.